was exactly that, and this is actually kind of the scene of that game I briefly spoke about when we were comparing notes on, the most memorable game you sort of won out of the opening through very good opening prep.
Right.
This is actually what happened in my game against Grishuk in Mexico City that I won with the help of the model of analysis. But I didn't play. All of this is very, very well known. Knight f3 check looks like a stunning move, but it's still very much in existence. And this is what they do now. And as you can see on your screen there's very, very high-profile games which reached even this position.
Right.
But I took on f3 with the queen, which used to be the main line, but I think that actually was analyzed to an absolute draw. You can play queen takes f3, bishop takes c3, king d1 here. And then the game continued, queen a4 check, knight c2, bishop takes b2, and you have to play rook c1. And I did win that game kind of convincingly, but yeah, as I mentioned, since the advent of stronger computers and just generally after Alexander Motylev and myself, we sort of introduced this into the public consciousness.
Right.
People did spend some time analyzing it properly, and I believe it no longer really promises anything to white at all, which is why GF has been chosen.
Theory marches on.
Yes. So GF, we now have to play queen d2. King e2 would be a good move, not for the fact that it loses the queen. You can actually make a bit of an argument for doing this with white. Right takes rook d1, take on d6 if we can.
Right.
But the king on e2 is very awkward, so I would assume that, at the very least, black has an immediate perpetual, queen b2, rook d2, queen b5, and you have to play king e1, queen b1, rook d1, queen b4, and we're kind of going in circles. Actually, maybe this is not a perpetual, we actually saved the
game you're kind of hoping he's going to make?
I think I've had it done against me, but I don't think I've ever done this myself. I used to be a huge, I had a very, very big time management issue when I was a kid. Like I was in constant time troubles, and then it somehow resolved itself sort of on its own. I grew out of it.
Well done.
Without ever really doing anything conscious about it. I just stopped having horrible time troubles. And now I'm back to having some issues with time management as I grow older. But no, I mean, as a tactic it exists, but it always felt to me that it's much likelier to be counterproductive.
Right.
The thing people sometimes do, like specifically to play slower to encourage somebody to play in an equal position, is I think something that is almost never seen. What people do occasionally try is in a very, very poor position to also leave yourself like a minute, because it's unlikely to get worse,
Right.
and it might provoke your opponent to stop thinking.
Exactly.
And this maybe I have tried once or twice in my life, but even those examples I don't immediately remember like specific games. It's somewhat legitimate because, if you can, let's say, you have 15 minutes in a very poor position, you spend, I don't know, 12 of them or 13 of them, right? Trying to figure out as precisely as possible what will be the follow-up from here. And then you have this very clear mental image in your head as to what you will be replying to the most obvious tries. And you also are sort of, leaving yourself open, like you're removing the guard.
Yeah, exactly.
You're leaving the guard down and saying, please go in for the kill, and maybe this provokes your opponent into mistakes. Okay, 95 now definitely is in
I
play.
was about to say, is it 95? Definitively,
It is. I mean, Queen F6 already could have been a claim. So there.
Yes.
Yes.
I say Queen F6, Queen F6, Queen F6. He didn't claim.
Yeah, he didn't claim, and once again, time to actually kind of stop the clock.
Yeah,
I
30
think.
seconds.
I think it is perhaps time to stop the clock here.
And there it is. Alright, that's a draw then between Leinier Dominguez and Alireza Firouzja. All he does is to stop the clock, tell the arbiter what he's going to play, and that is it.
Yeah,
What a long
very,
fought
very
game.
interesting, and I think actually very well played game. There will have been inaccuracies in it, but I don't recall a single actually very poor decision.
I think actually, the decision to play E5 was
Arguably maybe the
really
worst.
double-edged. I mean, that was opening up a kind of a Pandora's box. But then after that, he played very well.
Yeah, I really do think that in terms of like general quality.